Hello, my name is Yong Chen Hui with metric number 184971.
Hello, my name is Nanas Pamiti Mamakno with metric number 184145.
Hello, my name is Nurul Izzatul Nadia binti Zulkafli, metric number 181787.
Hello, my name is Ko Hui Ying with matrix number 184062.
Hello, my name is Sudha Najwa binti Razali with metric number 181768.
Okay, we are going to carry out an experiment about enzyme, and the first experiment is about the effect of enzyme on reaction rate. And as you all know, enzymes are protein heavy tertiary or quaternary structure which act as catalysts to speed up a chemical reaction without being consumed. So enzyme may temporarily bond covalently to the molecule being transformed during the intermediate state of reaction and return to its original form as the product is released. And enzyme has some specific characteristic. First, enzymes are highly specific. Only substrate that complementary to its active site can bond to enzyme's active site. Next, enzyme always speed up the chemical reaction by making the bonds of substrate unstable and reactive, hence lower the activation energy needed for a reaction to occur. In this experiment, cello-biased enzyme is used as a catalyst. And I don't know about what is cello-biased enzyme actually. Who can explain it to you?
Me, I can explain. In this experiment, we had studied about cello-biased enzyme. Cello-bias is involved in the last step of process of breaking down cellulose to glucose. Okay, the natural substrate for enzyme cello-bias is cellobiose. But to make the reaction easier to follow, an artificial substrate, p-nitrophenyl glucopyranoside, is used in this experiment. This artificial substrate can also bind to the enzyme and be broken down in a manner similar to the natural substrate cellobiose. Okay, when the artificial substrate is broken down by cellobiose, it produces glucose and p-nitrophenol. Okay, when p-nitrophenol is mixed with base, it will turn yellow. The deeper the color, the higher the amount of product made.
Okay. And who can explain to me how to carry out this experiment?
Okay, first, there's 50 ml conical tube labeled stock solution, 1.5 millimeter substrate. Enzyme buffer is located. 7 curvet were labeled using marker pen on upper part of curvet face. 2 of them were labeled start and end, and the other 5 were labeled E1 to E5. 500 microliter of stock solution is pipetted into each curvet by using a clean micro pipette. 2 empty 50 ml conical tubes are labeled enzyme reaction and control respectively. 2 ml and 1 ml of 1.5 millimole of substrate is pipetted into 50 ml enzyme reaction tube and control tube respectively. 500 microliter of buffer is pipetted into 50 ml conical tube labeled control and gently mixed. 500 microliter of mixed solution was added into the curvet labeled start. Okay, 1 ml of enzyme was pipetted into the 50 ml conical tube labeled enzyme reaction. The solution was mixed gently and the timer was started. At the time indicated below, E1 1 minute, E2 2 minutes, E3 3 minutes, E4 4 minutes, E8 8 minutes, the micropipette is used to remove 500 microliter of the solution from the enzyme reaction tube, and it is added to the approximately labeled curvet containing stock solution. After all the enzyme samples have been located, the micropipette is used to remove 500 microliter of the solution from the C reaction tube with the control reaction tube, and is added to the curvet label N. So that's the method.
And because in this experiment we will have some errors, right? And what is the precaution step to reduce the errors that occurs during the experiment?
Okay, there are lots of precaution steps that can be carried out in the experiment to reduce the errors.
Firstly, the groups must be wet during the experiment to prevent contamination of sample and to avoid gas touch to skin and clothes. Secondly, the tip of micropipette should not in contact with other surface to avoid contamination. Moreover, there are smells on the surface of cuvettes due to contact of fingers, which will affect the absorbers. To overcome this problem, we must prevent contact with cuvette surface. And finally, there is presence of bubbles in the solution inside micropipette when we want to transfer the solution into the cuvette. This will affect the volume of the solution and thus it affects the accuracy of the result. And in order to obtain more accurate result, we must ensure there are no bubbles in the solution inside the micropipette.
Okay, I think that's all for our first experiment, right? You all know well about it. And let's proceed to the next experiment, that is the effect of temperature on the enzyme reaction, right?
Yes.
Okay, as you all know, enzyme is very specific in its function, and the enzyme will only work efficiently only when when the surrounding temperature are ideal, which are various based on different enzymes. And experiment at extreme temperature, enzyme will denature and lost its function. In this experiment, theoretically, the cellular bias have optimal temperature of 70 degrees Celsius. Temperature can affect the speed of reaction. First, it can increase the number of collisions and therefore speed of the reaction. However, at some point, because the heat is too high and temperature is too high, the force that allow the enzyme to maintain in their original shape will broken, changing the shape, and that means the enzyme denatured. And who can explain to me the procedure that we need to carry out?
Okay, I will tell you about the procedure. The first, for cuvette we label with 4 different temperature, and then 500 microliter of stock solution was pipetted into each cuvette. After that, 1.5 ml microcentrifuge tube were labeled with temperature enzyme, and 250 microliter of enzyme is pipetted into each tube. After that, 1.5 ml microcentrifuge tube were labeled with temperature substrate. Then 500 microliter of substrate was pipetted into each tube. The microcentrifuge tube with enzyme and substrate on different level were put into different place for 5 minutes. And then enzyme is pipetted into substrate tube and the tube was placed back into the original place. The stopwatch was started after the 2 minutes. 500 microliter of reaction is transferred into level cuvette and wait for 5 minutes. After that, all the samples were being analyzed by using spectrophotometer.
Okay, so to get the precise result in this experiment, what can we do? The precaution steps to do in this experiment.
Okay, there were some precautions too during this experiment to make sure the accuracy of the result. Firstly, when using the microcentrifuge tubes, we must make sure that the hands do not touch the lower parts to prevent temperature of hand affect the temperature of solution. Secondly, human reflex time also affects the result of experiment. To overcome this problem, we must increase the accuracy of time taken for each tube and pay 100 attention in the experiment. Lastly, the defect in the micropipette used is another error occurs. To solve this error, we must use micropipette nicely, return the reading to the largest amount after use, and to avoid the spring to become loose.
Thank you. And do you all have any questions about this experiment?
You don't think so?
Okay, let's just end this discussion today. I hope you all know all things about this experiment.
Yeah, I know more about this experiment now.
After the discussion.
Yes.
Okay, that's all for us. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.